up, Future Matt? It's another filler video coming right at you, because I'm running out of ideas and nothing much happened today. Oh boy. But yeah, basically I'm just continuing that Talking About music video I did way back in February, I think. Just going to go through the rest of my CD collection and talk about some CDs that I own. So, if that's not your thing, anyone else that's watching, probably quit this video, click off it. There's better things on the internet for you to be doing. But yeah, I think I got up to L last time, so kicking things off. Mac DeMarco 2. This is probably my favourite Mac DeMarco album, I think. It's just got all the hits on, and it's just really good. Yeah, no, it's just got Ode to Viceroy, My Kind of Woman, Freaking Out the Neighbourhood, loads of classic Mac on this album. Marmozets, Weird and Wonderful. Yeah, this was a good album. It's pretty heavy. They're a good female metal band, which I don't think there's too many of. Not that I know of, at least. But yeah, I really like these guys. I can't remember where they're from. I think they might be from Brighton, but I might be making that up. I think I'm making that up. But yeah, this was a good record. I'm still waiting for their second one. It's been 3 years now, guys. Come on, that's enough time. But yeah, Rat World by Menace Beach. This was a really great one. I did really like this album. It's got it's kind of like psychedelic grunge. I've actually met Liza, who's on the front cover. I was at one of their gigs and I bought pretty much everything that I have on vinyl out of awkwardness, because she was like, hey, there's a deal on, buy all this shit for £10. I was like, okay, but it was a good purchase. Then I bought this the second time I saw him. No, it's a good album. Tennis Court, Tastes Like Medicine, Come On Give Up, Dropouts, all the classic indie hits that no one's ever heard of, but they're a really good band. I think they might have some members from Pulled Apart by Horses in the lineup as well, at least the live lineup. Then Mets, the self-titled, it's just a cracking noise rock album. It's just a very noisy, heavy album. But yeah, no, I actually found this band through GTA. Yeah, Wet Blanket was featured in the GTA soundtrack on Vinewood Boulevard Radio, the best radio station. But yeah, no, I really dug the song, dug this album. Mets, they're a good band. More Than Baseball, You're Gonna Miss It All. This was a classic emo album. When I'm just feeling down, pop this on, have a little cry, and then all's right with the world. Got some good tracks. Fine, Great, just all of them really. With emo bands, you either like the whole album or none of it. Generally, I think this is my favourite Modern Baseball album compared to the other two. Newton Faulkner, Human Love. Yeah, this is a good album. This is the deluxe edition, I think, so it's got a bunch of acoustic versions on the end, which is really good because Newton Faulkner by trade is an acoustic guitarist, so he does all this mad percussive acoustics trickery over his tracks. So yeah, it's good to have those versions as well as the really poppy produced ones, because this was a very poppy and produced album. I did enjoy it, but not among my favourites. Basically, just all my CDs are yeah, it's good, but it's not my favourite. And what we got here? Big stack of CDs. The Orwells, Remember When. I do love the Orwells. And this is them at their most garage rocky. I mean, this is basically just an album full of Black Lips covers, but I still like it. It's still great. Yeah, they're all kind of just bratty, spoiled teens, but the tunes are good, so it's alright. Portugal the Man, Evil Friends. This was a really good album. I really like this. I think I heard Hip Hop Kids on some BBC TV film, and I was like, damn. It was the one with Maisie Williams, Cyberbully, I think. Yeah, I think everyone knows Purple, Yellow, Red and Blue from FIFA. I think that's the one track for most people on this album, though. The Prodigy, The Day Is My Enemy. This was a pretty solid album. I mean, it was okay. Thing is, I really liked Invaders Must Die, so this was kind of a bit of a step down for me. But, it's still decent. Title track's good, Rebel Radio was good, Wild Frontier, Rhythm Bomb I enjoyed. Our Bees was alright as well. I really don't like Sleaford Mods, but they were alright on that track. It was okay. They brought some good stuff to it. It was okay, and I enjoyed it. And Pup, the self-titled debut. This is a really good album. It's kind of alternative pop punk, I guess. I'd say Pup are an alternative punk band. They're kind of pop punky, but to categorise them as that would be a great injustice to the band. Track after track on this thing. Guilt Trip, Reservoir, Mabu, Never Try. Every track bangs. It's great. I really love this album. I've seen them twice now, and they're just really good. They're my Canadian boys. They're one of the bands I've immortalised by buying a band t-shirt. Then we got 2 Radical Face albums, The Branches and the Leaves. This is part of his overall kind of concept trilogy, where it's a big old family tree, and he's detailing all the stories throughout this family tree. But yeah, this was really good. I think The Branches is my favourite Radical Phase album, I think. It's between this and The Roots. It's just got loads of great songs on, title track, The Mute, Some Skeletons, Chains, Let Us Home. I know, I just really dig it. And plus the cases for these are so satisfying. Like, they're like little books, and you open up and it's got like pages and stuff, with all the lyrics and some art. They're all like handwritten as well. It's just very satisfying, and I can imagine going on a shelf, just being slotted in. And thinking like, yeah, that's nice. Green by REM. I think this was a charity shop find, to be honest. Like, I got this for like £1, maybe even less. But yeah, it's not bad. Orange Crush, classic REM song. Pop Song 89 was good as well. Yeah, it's alright though. I mean, REM are one of those bands that I always want to get into more and then never do. Smashing Pumpkins, Adore. This was kind of like the last album they put out before it all went to shit, in my opinion. I think this is a reissue as well, so it's all like, what's the word? It's all done up. It's all been remixed and stuff, which I don't know, it sounds good. But yeah, I still think this was a pretty solid Smashing Pumpkins album. Thing is, anything that came after Melancholy and the Infinite Sadness was always going to be a bit not as good, but still a good album. I still rate it. Then on the other side of the Smashing Pumpkins scale, Monuments to an Elegy. I think their latest album at the moment, unless they've put one out sneakily. Again, it was okay. It's probably the best thing they've released since getting back together, but that's not really saying much. When this album's good, it's good. When it's bad, it's just monumentally terrible. Like Run To Me, where the 2's spelt with a number. Come on, man, you're like 50. What were you doing? Stone Temple Pilots, the self-titled. I think this was another charity shop find. I can't even remember any of the tracks on this. I haven't listened to it too much. Vaseline. Interstate Love Song, that's a good song on this album. That's the one that everyone knows. But yeah, it's pretty solid. The Strokes is the sit. Doesn't even need an introduction, really. It's just one of those classic albums, really. It's like the Arctic Monkeys debut, this. It's like the big indie banger. Yeah, just an album full of classic indie songs from the mid-2000s. And 21 Pilots, Blurry Face. I still got the price tag on. Got it from Resident in Brighton. Rep your local music store. If I'm honest, when I first heard this album, I really didn't like it. I just thought it was really unnecessarily reggae, and I didn't quite get it. I really liked their first album, and I thought that was great. And then this seemed a bit of a step down, but it's grown on me quite a lot, to be fair. Plus, this album has like catapulted them to ridiculous heights. Like, it's crazy how big they are now. Because 21 Pilots, I'm going to be a bit of a hipster here. 21 Pilots are one of those bands where I've been following them since they were quite small. Like, start of 2013, I think was when I really started listening to them. Like, I saw them at Reading in a tent full of maybe like, 200 people. Maybe a bit more. But the crowd was pretty small is my point. And now they're playing like arenas and stuff. And it's just mental. But yeah, this was an alright album though. It grew on me quite a lot. Like, Stressed Out is obviously the biggest song on here. Ride's good, Fail Like All, Tear My Heart, Lane Boy, We Don't Believe What's on TV. And Ty Segall, T-Rex. If you couldn't guess, this is just an album full of T-Rex covers done by Ty Segall. He's just making T-Rex songs really, really noisy and just putting them through his little garage rock machine to make them pop. Because I think he'd previously released a bunch, like, as EPs, and this is collecting them with a few new extra tracks. Like, 20th Century Boy is so good on this. Fist Heart, Mighty Dawnheart, Buick McCain, Salamander, Palagander. It's all like the really weird T-Rex as well, like, from the start of their career. Just made real heavy, and I dig it. I love it. This is the only Ty Segall album I own as well, that needs to be fixed. I need to own more of his stuff, because he's really good. Waves, 5... This was a good album. I really like their fourth album. I thought this was a pretty solid follow-up. Like, there's a lot of good songs in there. Yeah, it's very skate punk. You just want to sort of listen to this while you're skating around doing some sick kick flips or whatever. Yeah, no, I rate this album. Then Weezer, Everything Will Be Alright in the End. I thought this was decent. Like, everyone raved about it when it came out, and I just wasn't that bothered. Like, you know, Ain't Got No Body's alright. Back to the Shack's okay. The British Are Coming's good. Futurescope trilogy was ridiculous, but also okay. Yeah, it just felt a bit average. Like, it wasn't as amazing as everyone sort of said it was to me. Like, I just wasn't that bothered. But then they released the White Album, and that was so good. Oh my. It's just Weezer's return to form, really. Like, after years, it just popped. Like, everything just clicked into place, and I loved it. Even the more poppy tracks on this thing, like Thank God for Girls, which most Weezer fans didn't like, I really loved. They just kept it very Weezer. And, like, even stuff like Jacked Up as well is quite poppy, but it's got the most, like, Pinkerton-esque lyrics on it than any other track that they've put out in ages. And obviously, Do You Want to Get High is, like, it could have been a track on Pinkerton easily. But yeah, I don't know, I really dig this. And I'm pretty sure in King of the World, they've used a little bit of Only in Dreams from the Blue Album, which I I appreciate. I picked up on that. Nice touch, Rivers. Then we're into promotional albums and compilations. First up is Wolf Alice, My Love Is Cool. I really like this album. I've got it on vinyl. This is a promotional copy because I reviewed it. I think I gave it 9 out of 10 at the time, which might have been a bit high. But yeah, I still really rate this album. A really solid debut from Wolf Alice. In fact, I actually got to meet them at Resident Records in Brighton. I'll put in like a picture here. They're really nice. Like, I think I made them laugh, told some jokes. They liked my Adventure Time phone case, and I thought that was awesome. But yeah, nice bunch. And they signed my record as well, but it got all sweaty in my bag and smudged a bit, which was a travesty. Then we have the Straight Outta Compton soundtrack. This was another promotional thing that I got for reviewing it. This was obviously going to be good. Like, it's just all the best songs from NWA and like the members. So there's some Dre on here, some Eazy-E, Ice Cube, and even some of the stuff they sampled. So you got like Steve Harrington, Weak at the Knees, which I think is what they used in Fuck the Police, I think. But yeah, this was good. Like, I had to watch the movie as well to like fully appreciate the soundtrack and sort of get the context it was meant to be in. The movie was good. They kind of left out all the sort of the Dre and Eazy beef though, which didn't make sense to me. Look at me, the whitest guy in the room, talking about hip hop. Yeah, and then we have Like Shadows Dancing in the Dark, a Sacred Bones compilation. So this is like a compilation tape of a bunch of artists from a certain label. I got given this for free at Resident Records in Brighton. And yeah, there's some good stuff on here. Like Jenny Val's really good. Blank Mass is good. There's some like really indie hipster stuff on here, but yeah, it was alright. It was free, so you can't really go wrong, can you? Then last we have a Transgressive Records compilation CD with basically a whole bunch of sort of rarities and like tracks from artists signed to Transgressive Records. And there's some big acts on here. I got Flume, Holding On, At the Drive-In, Gengar, who I've talked about before in the last video, Pulled Apart by Horses. There's a really cool acoustic version of Venom by Pulled Apart by Horses on here. And given how heavy the original is and how like chilled this version is, like it's so cool. What else? Marika Hackman, Two Door Cinema Club, Always, and then Folds. Just all the big bands really. Like I didn't realise how many big bands were signed to Transgressive at one point. But yeah, that's a good CD. Anyway, that's the end of my CD collection at the moment. I guess same question, Future Matt. If you've got any more, pop them in a video somehow. Just sneak them in. I don't imagine you would have bought that many CDs between last video and this one. Like that, because I told you to show the CDs at the end of the last Talking About Music. So, but if you have, put them in the video. I've rambled a bit. Half of this stuff isn't going to go in. But yeah, that's Talking About Music. That's my CD collection as of April in 2017. I'll see you tomorrow, Future Matt.